Rick Rowe for Rule Investment Media, sponsors of the Boca Raton Natural Resources Investment Symposium. I'm delighted to interview a friend of some longstanding, Craig Parry, who has been, I dare say, serially successful in natural resources exploration and development. He is the CEO, and I suspect driving force behind Inventa Capital. I should note, for purposes of the interview, that one of the portfolio companies in Inventa Capital is Vizsla Silver, where I have been and continue to be a fairly large shareholder. So disclosure of conflicts of interest. Craig, thank you for subjecting yourself to the interview, and thank you, too, for your sponsorship of the Natural Resources Investment Symposium in Boca Raton. Welcome.
Thanks, Rick. Great to be with you again, and thank you for the support as a shareholder of Vizsla Silver.
It's been a pleasure so far. Give us an overview of Inventa. Tell us something about the group, what it is you're trying to accomplish. But before that, tell us about who the people are, what their successes are. Establish some credibility so people care about what comes afterwards in the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look. Of course, I've been a geologist and in this exploration business for 20 odd years. Started with Rio Tinto. I've been very fortunate to have been involved in a number of world-class discoveries. I've got a lot of the team with me here now at Inventa Capital working on more discoveries. But we've the team and I have discovered I think 5 world-class deposits nowadays. We found a giant coking coal project in far eastern Russia. Of course, we started NextGen out of the Tiggre's realm group of companies there in Australia and found the Arrow deposit. I stepped away from the board of NextGen 2 years ago, but prior to doing that, we started ISO Energy and made the Hurricane discovery. So we took ISO from about 25 cents a share to $6. That team are now with me at Kosa Resources, which is one of our companies under the Inventa umbrella. The other things we've been involved in are probably the most important thing of recent times, and I think the most important discovery I've ever been involved in is Vizsla Silver's Panuco project, where we've got 220 million ounces of silver and fast growing that resource. We had Greg Huffman, head of institutional sales from Canaccord, down to site a few weeks ago, and Greg's saying this is the most important silver discovery of our generation. So they're the focus for us. We've got a number of other companies. Vizsla Copper, we've acquired a massive copper and gold resource up in central BC. So that's that's the focus. We love battery metals. We love incubating new projects. We've got a tremendous team of explorers. Steve Blower, who works with me here and is the chairman of Kosa. Steve, for example, has been involved in 3 world-class uranium discoveries, led teams to those discoveries. So we've got a great track record of finding serious deposits and deposits that people like the look of.
Well, certainly, I think you'll find the audience in Boca will remember your successes at NextGen and ISO, or ISO, pardon me. Well,
ISO.
And I think too you'll find them to be uranium-centric and silver-centric. So I suspect that you'll be in fertile terrain. So as I understand it, this is in effect an intellectual outgrowth of Tiggre's realm, a group that was highly successful in Australia in identifying early-stage projects, acquiring them, and then packaging them and financing them in public vehicles. Am I describing your current circumstance correctly?
Yeah, you're spot on. After I left Rio Tinto in 2008, I had the great fortune of meeting Owen Hegarty and joining Owen Hegarty to establish Tiggre's realm group. And we had a number of successes. I suppose we started that group of companies at a pretty challenging time for the markets. And I suppose one of the things that I'm, very thankful for is that despite this long drawn out 10-year downturn that we've been through, we've still been able to deliver our shareholders very strong returns. We did the original financing at NextGen at 5 cents back in 2010. That's trading at about $6 today. ISO Energy again, it got down as low as 25 cents and traded as high as $6 a couple of years ago. So despite really tough markets, almost depressing markets, we've managed to deliver really strong returns. And Rick, I think we're about to enter what will be the greatest bull market for metals that we've ever seen. And I'm on record now as saying that copper, I think, will go to $20 or $30 a pound. You know, I'm looking forward to the returns we can deliver shareholders when we do get an actual strong metal market.
Well, you know, Craig, I'm of the opinion, frankly, that it's only the ongoing weakness in junior markets that keeps me interested at age 70. I found that high quality entrepreneurs like you that have access to money can do better creating wealth in bad times. Yes, you realize the wealth in good times. But as you note, Owen Haggerty built Tiger's Rome into a spectacular success during a period of time when nobody in Australia wanted to be able to spell resources. It's precisely, I think, times like these where fortunes are built. So I'm appreciative of the fact that you did it together with Owen and you're doing it again. And I appreciate in particular the fact that you made me look smart with NextGen and ISO. Making me look smart in bad markets is not always an easy thing to do. So let's cut Wiesla aside as a sort of a road game. Tell us how you came onto the project. Tell us what you liked about the project. Tell us the process by which you have advanced Wiesla to the point it is, with the point of view of letting people know the Inventa formula and associating with Inventa to the extent that they want to for this bull market going forwards.
Yeah, look, you know, we Inventa Capital. We really are an incubator and a project generator and identifier. But we also act as a merchant bank. You know, I think we've raised 65 million for Wiesla Silver here in the past 6 months. We just completed 3 raisings and raised $12 million for some of our other companies, including Wiesla Copper. You know, our process there, we go through a lot of data. You know, we've got big data sets here, big project data sets, and we spend a heck of a lot of time scanning through those, looking for projects that will make sense. Of course, you're constantly taking submittals from outside sources for projects. When we started Wiesla, we actually were looking for copper projects, but a document came across my desk that suggested that we should get down to Sinaloa in Mexico and look at the Panuco project. Mike and I travelled down there. You know, as soon as I saw that document, we booked the flights and we're on a plane the very next day, and I'm glad we were. We discovered, when we got down there, you know, we discovered a project that ticks all my exploration boxes. And you know, I've now been involved in 5 world-class discoveries, and part of the way we've put our foot on these things and how we've sort of filtered through projects is something I learned at Rio Tinto. The head of exploration at Rio Tinto back in the early 2000s was a guy called David Klingner, and he drummed into me what you must look for to rank and prioritise projects, and that's size of the prize, cost of the test, and chance of success. We got down there to Panuco, and within a day, we knew we were onto something pretty special. I'd never seen so much metal exposed on the ground and on the project. We knew it was a district, so the size of the prize was there. We knew it was big enough. We know that those silver districts in Mexico, if you find one, can be world-class silver projects. Cost of the test, that's important. You know, you don't want to be drilling holes down to the moho. You want to explore in areas where it's relatively cost effective to do that. And what we found there, you know, 45 minutes drive from downtown Mazatlan, close to, you know, companies with drill rigs that you can access very readily and cheaply, and very importantly, you know, outcropping mineralisation. So we didn't have to drill too deeply to test those targets. So, you know, you get good bang for investors' buck. And one of the things we do pride ourselves on in Inventa is putting as much of our investors' money into drill holes, and something that we've done there. I think we've drilled over 200 kilometres of holes now. We've still got 7 rigs turning there. So size of the prize was a big tick. Cost of the test, a big tick. And then chance of success. You know, if you're going to explore for silver or uranium, for example, you know, you go to the best places in the world to do that. And that's where we've had success with uraniums in the Athabasca Basin. No better place to find high-grade deposits in the Athabasca Basin. And certainly the Sierra Madres in Mexico, most prolific silver-producing district or part of the planet, part of the Earth's crust, I should say. We knew we were in the right zone, and chance of success there very, very high for a discovery, because it's has a known strong endowment, that entire belt. But very importantly, at Panuco, when we got there, we saw evidence of mining for over the past 450 years. There were a lot of artisanal workings. There was still some minor mining going on, but we knew the district had very minimal exploration from a modern standpoint. So a chance of finding mineralisation there, we thought, was very strong, cheap to do the work, and size of the prize was absolutely right. And that's what we've delivered there. We've got 220 million ounces at the moment. We're drilling at a huge rate of knots there. We've got 7 rigs turning, growing that resource base all the time. And I think there's potential there for over a billion ounces of silver. And so we'll be drilling there for many, many years to come, on the way to building, I think, what will be one of the world's great silver mines, Rick.
That's a wonderful mantra. I'd like the audience to repeat it: size of the prize, price of the test, and probability of success. That's absolutely wonderful. One of the things that's disgusted me, frankly, in my 50 years in the game has been people looking for small mines. I mean, there's some risk they might find them. Everything that can go wrong with a big mine can go wrong with a small mine, but a small mine can never make you big money. So I'm delighted, frankly, with that mantra. And I'm delighted, too, to hear you discuss 220 million ounces of silver, a commodity that's treated me well. And I can assume, given your past successes, I hope, Craig, that same mantra will be adhered to, if you will, through the rest of the portfolio in the Inventa group. And I suspect that people who talk to you in Boca Raton can get on your mailing list so that you'll keep them apprised of future activities. A good merchant bank, a good prospect generator, never quits looking for new inventory. And your past track record of success suggests that you will do that. Tell me now, because it's important that the Boca Raton attendees come to the conference well prepared, where those attendees can learn more about Inventa and more about Vizsla, so that the questions that they ask you in Boca Raton will be intelligent, and they can be very well prepared to absorb the information. Where do people learn more now?
Absolutely. So look, if people go to inventacapital.ca, so that's INVENTA capital.ca, and then all of our links to our companies, various companies, and social media links are, of course, right there.
I've told my listeners for years that getting in contact with a company isn't good enough. There has to be a living, breathing human being who will answer their emails and answer the phone calls. Who should these people talk to, and how do they reach this person?
I'm going to do something unusual here and give out my personal phone number, and people can text me.
That's the right answer, by the way, Craig.
Here we are. So +1 604 396 8073, and I'll endeavour to get back to people as quickly as I can. But I'm really looking forward to the conference, Rick. First time in Boca Raton, and it should be a hell of a time.
We will deliver to you a very good audience, and we will deliver to that audience only exhibitors where I personally own stock. There's no guarantee, Craig, sadly, that if I own a stock, it goes up. But certainly the process is honest. We have vetted every exhibitor well enough that we've invested our own time and treasure. And I'm delighted to have been a beneficiary of companies that you've been involved with all the way back 20 years ago to Tiger's Realm with Owen Haggerty. And I'm delighted to have you with us in Boca Raton. Thank you very much for your support. I'm looking forward to introducing you to a great group of people, and I'm looking forward to introducing a great group of people to you.
No, I really appreciate it, Rick. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.